reaction there out of Jake Paul, but when he gets caught with his hands down and his chin served on a platter.
Wouldn't it be crazy if all of the fighters who fight Jake Paul end up befalling some sort of terrible tragedy shortly before or after the fight? Let's run it down. Wouldn't it be crazy if Mike Tyson almost died before the fight? He had 8 blood transfusions, lost half his blood from a bleeding ulcer in the hospital for weeks. Obviously today, it'd be crazy if Anthony Joshua was involved in a fatal car crash where 2 of his friends are now dead.
Boxer Anthony Joshua gets into a car accident. 2 people die right after Jake Paul said he didn't follow the script. I'm kind of lost. What script? Was it just boxing or was there something else going on?
Okay, so you're not going to believe what just happened. Anthony Joshua, yes, the Anthony Joshua, boxing legend, literally just survived a horrific car crash in Nigeria. And honey, the timing is very suspicious. The accident came just days after he fought Jake Paul. And if you've been paying attention, you know that fighting Jake Paul is basically signing your own disaster contract. I'm not even joking. Every single person who's stepped in the ring with this man has not been the same since.
It really is. Oh, the uppercut, and he took it! Jake Paul took it! And yet he takes the knee again.
Okay, so you probably heard about the Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul's fight that took place on the 19th of December. Anthony had Jake begging for his life in the boxing ring, with over 33 million people watching it live from their homes. Jake really thought this was going to be another Mike Tyson situation, but he learned the hard way.
What a reaction there out of Jake Paul, but when he gets caught with his hands down and his chin served on a platter for that right hand right there. And look at Jake Paul's face. He knew it right away. He said, woo!
Hey guys, I'm okay. Just pray for me, all right?
Now, right after the fight, Anthony flew to Nigeria to spend some time with his family and celebrate his win. But Jake's infamous curse was working overtime. So according to reports, the accident happened in Nigeria on December 29th, just 10 days after the fight. It happened around 11 a.m. on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway in Ogun State. Thankfully, Joshua made it out alive with a few bruises, but 2 of his close friends, Sina Gami and Lateef Ayodele, didn't make it. There were videos of their lifeless bodies lying on the road, while the locals tried to get Anthony some help. What makes this accident even more traumatic is that just hours before it happened, they were all posted up on Instagram having a good time, only for 2 of them to die just hours later. Anthony will definitely need a therapist after this, because baby, this accident was no joke.
Show you the streets of Nigeria. Olosina.
Now, immediately after the news about this hit the internet, a lot of people started bringing up how every boxer who fights with Jake always has a tragic life after the fight. And I know you're probably asking yourself why people are blaming him for something that happened to Anthony all the way in Nigeria. Well, I thought the same thing too, till I saw the receipts that people pulled up. And all I'm going to say is, the pattern here doesn't seem like just a coincidence. The first person who was a victim of this infamous Jake Paul curse was Nate Robinson. He and Jake fought back in November 2020, and his life has been completely gone down the gutter ever since. Jake Paul actually won this fight by KO in round 2, but Nate's life wasn't the same after this. And the humiliating clips of him getting knocked out made it even worse, especially since he was a former NBA player.
He's singing the hymns. He's trying to get started. Oh, that's it! Mamma mia, the problem child proving to be a big problem for Nate Robinson.
This was not a good look for Nate at all, and completely ruined any chances he had at making boxing his new profession. He was basically reduced to the guy who got knocked out by Jake, and his personal life? That was also in the gutter. You see, before the fight, he was already battling with kidney disease, but it worsened and became fully public afterward.
Some people don't get to meet their guardian angels. I got a brother in mine. Mine is my brother, man. And he helped me out a lot, big time, man. I was struggling, and he came through in a clutch.
I got to meet Nate the day after surgery. Neither one of us were able to leave our beds until that point. And I was able to walk in that room, and I think I told Nate we did it. And that's really how I felt. It was a culmination of so much. And it felt like a long time for me, but it was about 9 months of waiting for this moment, just getting to that point where we knew that there'd been great success in this.
And after this, there was Ben Askren, who also had a rough life after he fought with Jake. They fought on April 17th, 2021. And just like Nate, Jake Paul also won this one by TKO in round 1. And as you can already guess by now, he also suffered multiple health problems after his fight with Jake. Earlier this year, he suffered a sudden, severe pneumonia from a skull's infection. He was hospitalized and placed in a medically induced coma for 45 days. During that same time, he clinically died multiple times, with reports saying his heart stopped. He lost 50 pounds, down to 147 pounds. Mind you, this was the lightest he had ever been since he was 15. Oh, but it doesn't stop there. He had to get a double lung transplant in July to survive, and spent 59+ days in the hospital. Around that same time, he was having some issues with his substance, and since Jake is desperately trying to beat the curse allegations, he decided to help cover costs. Right after this, Jake also fought with Tyron Woodley. They actually fought twice, with the first fight being in August 2021, and the second in December 2021. After he lost to Jake in this fight, his career went downhill as well. There are reports of him filing for bankruptcy, and he actually admitted to spending recklessly, literally blowing through millions of dollars. I blew through a lot of money, man. A lot of money. And I was jewelry and VIP and all these experiences, all these things that came with the championship life. You really, when you come from where I come from, you never imagine making that type of money. You never imagine being in that type of position. You work hard for it, and I didn't get there by accident because I was working, but nobody taught me finance. I bought like 7 cars and 2 houses and all these trips, and nobody ever lifted a hand when we were at a restaurant. 10 to 15 people went to dinner, and I was going to VIP clubs and all this like every other week. I just imagined making that amount of money for a very long time. Anyway, he wasn't the last person to suffer from the Jake Paul curse. Tommy Fury also got his share of it after his fight with Jake on February 26, 2023. Tommy won by split decision, making it Jake's first pro loss until Joshua. But even with that, the curse still got him good. After the fight, he reportedly broke up with his wife, and now runs marathons with middle-aged women. And then there is Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. He and Jake fought back in June of this year, and it was honestly one of the most embarrassing moments of his career. After he lost to Jake in this fight, everything else in his life also went downhill from there. He was arrested by ICE in July 2025 and deported to Mexico in August 2025 over alleged cartel ties and warrants.
Wouldn't it be crazy if all of the fighters who fight Jake Paul end up befalling some sort of terrible tragedy shortly before or after the fight? Let's run it down. Wouldn't it be crazy if Mike Tyson almost died before the fight? He had 8 blood transfusions, lost half his blood from a bleeding ulcer in the hospital for weeks. Obviously today, it'd be crazy if Anthony Joshua was involved in a fatal car crash where 2 of his friends are now dead. Wouldn't it be crazy if Nate Robinson went completely silent after Jake Paul's fight? No one has really seen or heard from Nate since. He hasn't been on socials or nothing. Wouldn't it be crazy if Ben Askren had lung failure and nearly died? Wouldn't it be crazy if Tyron Woodley declared bankruptcy? Wouldn't it be crazy if Tommy Fury had his life wrecked, marriage ended, career tanked, and now he's running marathons against middle-aged women? Sorry, I didn't even realize that. Wouldn't it be crazy if Ryan Berland quit boxing entirely and became a plumber? And lastly, wouldn't it be crazy if Chavez Jr. was deported after his fight with Jake Paul? I got nothing to lose. I'll fight you, Jake. Anytime, buddy. And wouldn't it be crazy if none of that really seemed that crazy at this point.
Jake caught wind of everything people were saying and put out multiple tweets sending his condolences to Anthony. But people are not buying it. Life is much more important than boxing. I am praying for the lives lost, AJ, and anyone impacted by today's unfortunate accident. R.I.P. Sinagami and Kevin, Latif, Latz, Ayadele. My thoughts and prayers are with their families and friends, and AJ. Now, no one is saying that Jake is responsible for these people's downfall, because at the end of the day, they are grown men who make their own decisions. However, the fact that all of them seem to degrade in life right after fighting with him definitely has people wondering if there's more to all this than we realize. And the fact that the same thing happened to Anthony as well really has people convinced. One person said, "Not a big conspiracy guy, but after this car accident with Anthony Joshua this morning, there might be a curse on anyone who fights Jake Paul." Nate Robinson, never heard from again. Ben Askren, lung failure, almost died. Tyron Woodley, bankruptcy. Tommy Fury, breaks up with hot wife, runs marathons versus middle-aged women now. Ryan Borland, stopped boxing, became a plumber. Chavez Jr., deported after the fight. AJ, injured in a car crash in Nigeria. Another person said, "Seems like anyone who fights Jake Paul ends up facing some serious bad luck. From health issues to personal troubles. And now AJ's car accident adds another twist." But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think of the accident that just occurred? And don't really believe the Jake Paul curse is real? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.